Do you realize that what you currently are experiencing now is actually all the doors of opportunity that you personally have opened up along the way? Have you also noticed that when you focus on your weaknesses, a plethora of disempowering thoughts seem to always just pour out of you? And also, have you noticed that when you focus on your strengths, that also, also a plethora of empowering thoughts naturally just flow out of you, and your confidence spikes and builds. It's day 10 of our implementing your 2020 Transformational Vision goal.
Scott and Julie here.
Yeah, and it's the third day of our series on focus. So today's topic, we're focusing on strengths, talents, and skill sets. And they naturally happen. They come with just a natural energy flow, and they make you come alive most of the time. But those skills, those talents, and those strengths don't always line up with what make you come alive. You can get in a situation of just trying to make money and doing something to make ends meet, and you're not really in the groove of what makes you come alive. So the key is to line your strengths and your talents and skill sets up with what makes you come alive, and seek that out first. Not the skills, but what makes you come alive. And start heading toward, so applying that in the future now, heading toward that 2020 Transformational Vision. I have actually tried a lot of different things in my life, and most of the time what I found is that I was chasing money and trying to make a living and trying to get by and trying to go after the next bright, shiny thing that could light up my life, I guess, and based on the money, and not really chasing after what really made me come alive. And so you often do that to make ends meet and try to figure something out in life. And so you almost think you don't have time to spend trying to figure out what makes you come alive. So I've done that a lot. And here I am. So, but it's a little different. So in comparison, because now we're doing what we think we know. Yeah. What we know we will do the rest of our lives. I know I will.
Me too.
And so, but things can change, but it's really the thing that we really enjoy, and that's transforming people's lives. So
yeah. So yesterday, as I shared, the number one thing that was holding me back from going to the next level on my healthy living was meal planning. And I just get fixated on the wrong stories like we all do, and I just stay stuck and end up in the ditch.
Or in the weeds.
But when I focus on my strengths and then the problems get solved, I just end up crushing it and knocking it out of the park. Once I started focusing on the solutions more and what I was capable of, that's where breakthrough began to happen.
Yeah, that's really the way it goes. And it's hard to see the forest from the trees, or the trees from the forest, however that saying goes. But you want to ultimately utilize your strengths to figure out possible solutions, which is what you're saying, and then take action and keep yourself going toward that 2020 Transformational Vision goal, that compelling future that you want to experience, short term or long term. So remember, you also don't want to continue to fuel a problem and give it more power than it deserves to have, and more space than you want it to rent in your mind. So use your strengths to solve it and be able to get past it. So
yeah, because my problem of meal planning can be crushed basically from my 3 strengths on our focus tool today. The planner is my number 1, persevering is my number 2 strength, and number 3 is simplifying. What about you?
Yeah, mine are breaking complex ideas and things down into simple, practical, real-world understandings. My number 2 is having vision to see through the maze of life, through the emotions of life, through the heaviness and the difficulty of life. And then 3 is I like creating new things and ideas and causing them to come into reality, become real for you. So, but all our videos really, from our mindset last week to our focus this week to habits will be next week, and then after that we'll be doing action steps you can take to implement. This whole series is about implementation, and so they really are about your compelling future and trying to help you get to that place. And they're about your why, and so what you want to experience, how you want your life to look, what kind of person you want to be. And so we're walking through the worksheet with you through the tools and doing the same thing. And we know we have to live a little bit outside of our ordinary
comfort zone
in order to accomplish those. It's easy to fall back into the mundane, everyday, ordinary life and be controlled by your schedule and be controlled by somebody else's purpose that you work for. And that's not all bad, but if you want something greater, which we all are looking for something greater. We're always looking for transformation in our lives. And we've said it before, where we're transforming our outfits, our makeup, our hairdos. We're transforming our houses, our backyards, our cars, just trying to have a different experience in life. So our lives will be different this year in 2020. It'll be completely different than last year. And we're not settling for living like we lived last year, which we lived good. But we want more. We want to experience more. And so we know the freedom we want to experience. We know we want to impact and transform lives. We know that that's our element. That's what makes us come alive. And we're not missing out on all the open door, wide open opportunities that are right in front of us that most of the time you just can't see. But the important thing is you have the key to the kingdom. You have the keys to life right in the palm of your hand. And so
it's what makes us excited.
Yeah.
Like why we want to wake up in the morning and just live a day full of excitement.
Yeah, and it gives you energy when you find what makes you come alive. And so when you do that, you'll find the energy to fuel it, to feed it.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. It'll come in naturally just as inspiration. And then your strengths, your talents, and your skill sets will line up with it. Sometimes it takes time. I've been working on my idea of this for 8-10 years of heading in this direction. And so in the last couple of years, we've been launching that and impacting lives. So we're loving it and enjoying it. So it comes down to what's your why? And then coupling that with your strengths and your talents and skill sets and using that to fuel it.
Yeah, we're here to help you live the life that you desire, your purpose, what makes you come alive, and just fulfill that greater purpose that you know in your heart that there's more, and that's what you're to do. So that's where we're at right now.
And
we're here to help you.
Yeah, and it's really ultimately freeing when you can find it. Sometimes it can be discouraging or uncertain to try to figure out what makes you come alive, because there's a lot out there in the world that you can do and be a part of. And so figuring out what that element is a very important thing. And so we want to exponentially achieve more in our lives this year, and we are going to, while still doing what we love and while still enjoying the things that we like to do. Now, some of those things have to be set aside while we're transforming our own lives, but just as we were sharing yesterday with Focus, and this week with Focus Time, and eliminating the distractions in your life, that'll free up time so that you can continue to live the lifestyle that you'd like to live while building your compelling future that's transformed from what it is now. So we're here to help you do the same thing and achieve exponential results and achieve more in your life as well, while still heading toward your 2020 Transformational Vision. So the key is, the only person that you have to be a better version of versus comparing yourself to other people, the only person you have to be a better version of is yourself. And so when you're the better version of yourself, then the richness, the fullness, the wonderfulness, the loveliness, the beauty of all of life flows through your life, and it just happens naturally, and it happens with energy and with inspiration. So like Julie said, we're here to help you find that purpose-driven path.
Yes, so because you all have unique gifts and talents, putting them on the worksheet today is important. It's only 3. You have plenty more than that. This is really just to help you during those times where you're struggling and you're kind of questioning, just beating yourself up. And it's just a reference to kind of help regain that confidence to get you through those tough moments.
And it's also to help you keep focused on your goal and where you're heading, even if you're not having troubles. It's to help you stay on focus of where you're heading.
Yeah, like a catalyst. It's going to give you that spark for that momentum and keep you going. Those times where you don't feel like it and you don't believe in yourself, just having that list of strengths to look at and say, yeah, I actually can rock it. Because getting out of those moments of just disempowering beliefs can sometimes be tough. Kind of that inner head tug of war.
And it's more comforting to go back to those. I mean, it sounds counterintuitive, but it's more comforting to go back to the disempowering beliefs, because we spend more of our energy focused on the stressors of life and handing our energy off to that area of our life to deal with those and process those more than our creative capacity. Excuse me. So it's easier to go with what's familiar. It's easier to go with what's comfortable and to revert back to how we're used to processing things. And so it's not a natural always thing to process what it takes to get to your dreams. We're all kind of trying to head there, but just as we've said before, the cemeteries of the world are filled with the richness of all of life, and that's really all the dreams not realized. And so it's easier to stay safe, to not step out of the boat, to not take the leap. It's easier to not burn the boats. Have you ever heard that story of Hernandez I forget his name, but
Aztecs.
Yeah, where they were attacking the Aztecs. It's easier to not burn the boats because you have a backup plan.
Safe zone.
That you can fall back on. And so they burned the boats because they were determined they're going to take the Aztecs. And they did.
What's the one thing you can do today, actually do now, to move you closer to your 2020 transformational vision?
Yes.
You're worth it.